Strength through will is how we can reverse the perversion of values that have been instilled in you, in me, and all our brethren, insidiously through generations of ancestral oppression. Though it stood with as much superhuman endurance as anyone could, it left a deep impression. Invisible scars that have caused us to devolve into a state of unconsciousness so malignant, we've nearly forgotten we're not a problem to be solved. We always been the solution they seek to dissolve, with the illusion of ties that bind us to a system that blinds, of most vicious design, which is to free no man. Only together, through sharing of wisdom, can we heal the wounds of division, forever sealing that evil incision, and finally deprogram.
He was a big crybaby before the game, state championship game.
Yeah, so like, cause it seemed like y'all only missed in the last few years. Y'all ain't missed nothing but maybe three states.
I
know it ain't been no more than 4.
No, it hadn't been more than 4. Of course, we missed this past season. We missed the season where Austin East took us out, literally. And then probably one other season. Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe 3. Yeah, 3, maybe 4.
Cause I'm looking at, I'm like, cause I ain't gonna lie, the year, was that the next year with the Austin East or the year after that?
It was the year after that. So after we lost in the finals, we went back that next year. That was Duke's senior year. So when we lost in the finals, that was Tay-Tay's senior year.
Yeah.
So we went back the following year with Duke senior year. We lost in the second round that year. And then after that is when the Austin East situation happened.
So that year, the year with the Austin East, that was Jesse Walker's senior year.
That was, yes, sir. Jesse Walker and Malik Hampton were the seniors that year.
Because a lot of people don't, like when we talk about great players, a lot of people fail to mention Jesse Walker, but I have to tell them, hey, let's look at this for what it is. The man in the last 10 years in Chattanooga, he got a runner. He helped on the team get the runner-up trophy. Mm-hmm. He was a very intricate part in that. And he also, correct me if I'm wrong, was a finalist for the Mr. Basketball Award.
He was a finalist for Mr. Basketball. I think the last finalist that we had in public school, definitely, for the Chattanooga area. And I hate that for him because, man, he a great kid, man. Like, he's a great person. And he doesn't get the recognition because he wasn't flashy. He wasn't a guard. Chattanooga is a guard city. A lot of his was just, getting the ball, going up and scoring. So he doesn't get the recognition that some get, but he definitely should have got that. If that not had happened, he would have broke the Brainerd scoring record held by Harris. He was 8 points away.
Wow.
Before that happened, and, in hindsight, I sat him 2 games after that situation happened with Austin East. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have. But you live and you learn.
So you give me some history. So Harris Walker is the all-time leading scorer at Brainerd.
Yes, sir. 1,927 points.
And you telling me at Brainerd High School, the historic Brainerd High School in basketball, Jesse Walker is right behind Harris?
Jesse Walker was 8 points away.
Wow.
I mean, it's hard to believe.
It ain't for me because I seen the work he put in.
Yeah, but I'm saying, because he wasn't flash, Harris in your face, like literally. So you look up and Jesse got 36 points and you don't even remember him like doing that. So yeah. So he's 8 points shy.
So let's kind of switch gears because we kind of tapped on the sports.
Okay.
Building relationships and coaching and teaching in the inner city schools. A lot of people don't understand that that's a very tough task.
Yes, sir.
Because you might deal with somebody who, let's be real, they might not have no sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
They might be living in a neighborhood where they shooting. They might not even had nothing to eat that morning.
Mm-hmm.
So tell the people what's intricate in building relationships with these young men, because one thing I do know, because I've built my own individual relationships with Tay, Orlando, Davy, I know you are a very intricate part in their life, even to this day.
I appreciate that. So coming into the situation that I came into, so I've been teaching in the inner city school for this is year 19 for me.
Salute to you on that.
I appreciate you, my brother. So just being realistic, you know that some of these kids don't have the what we had coming up. They don't have the relationships, they don't have the resources. And instead of harping on that, and you know, this is gonna be hard for me to talk about because my personal mantra is help somebody without telling everybody. So you know, when you engage and meet kids like that, I can only be myself. So people were expecting me to be a certain way, and that's just not me. That's not my character. I really feel like the success that we had as a school, the success we've had as a program, basketball program, is because they know I care for real. Like I'm not caring so I can put it on social media to say I did X, Y, and Z. They know I care for real. If I'm being totally honest, it's 3 guys in the next room over here there because they needed to eat today. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, so the relationship piece for me is probably the most important. On day one, as soon as I announced the roster, they coming in knowing that my focus as a head coach is what they're going to do when that ball stop bouncing, because it's going to stop bouncing for all of us. So what we're building is a plan for when that happens. If that requires us to go to school, if that requires us to get a job, like we need to be prepared for when that ball is no longer bouncing. So I do still stay engaged. I used to get criticized for it, man. I've had a couple of parents upset with me because I'm posting, hey, here, look at my son. And that was weird to me, man. Like I had a couple of parents upset that I'm calling, of course, their child my son. But that's how I look at it. I mean, you with me sometimes 10, 12 hours a day from 7 to 7, 7 to 9, 7 to 10 at night. I have to look at them like that so they can get the proper care that they need. If you're entrusting me with your child, then I'm going to treat them like they're mine. So that's the most important thing. And you know what? The guys that you named earlier, Baby James does a great job with relationship building. EJ does a great job with relationship building. That's something that I feel good about. You know, Stephen Cook does a great job, man. I had some great guys those early years, and we wanted to make it family. We wanted to make it family. You know, families fight, family argue, family do all this, but we supported each other. So if the guys were playing in the AAU game, we made sure we all went together. Like, we're going to be together. If the guys had a birthday, like, we're going to celebrate the birthday together. So that piece of it was major for me, man, because I don't think we can get what we got out of them if the relationship wasn't there. Those guys exceeded their expectations and ours because they cared that we cared.
So being that what went into, guys, I know y'all, see, you correct me if I'm wrong, y'all was the first people to bring the Weoverme to this area. Okay.
Yes, we were. And it's kind of twofold. We did Weoverme and we did the Bamboo Boys. So trying to figure out how to say this without being disrespectful, because the Weoverme started disrespectfully. If I'm being totally honest,
it did.
It did.
I didn't know that.
So Weoverme started because we wanted to make sure the focus of the program was not on it was focused on the family.
Okay.
All right. It's about us. So you hear coaches and you hear people talk about play for the name on the front of the jersey, not the back. So that's where Weoverme came from. So that's the most respectful way I could say it. Play for Brainerd, play for Chattanooga, play for whoever you playing for. Make that the focus. Remove yourself from it. Do something bigger than you. And that was the goal. That's where Weoverme came from. It was about family. It was about family.
Okay. So it seemed like they embraced it, because one thing I noticed, and I hope y'all still do it, when they used to announce the starting lineups, no matter what level y'all was on, whether it was the state, whether it was the district, whether it was just a regular game, no matter who name was called, nobody came out until the last person was called. So so everybody was still unified, even when individuals' names was called. And I thought that was major. And that's why I say I hope that's still going on, because that teach a brotherhood like no other.
Yeah, that is definitely still going on. And I will, again, I'm being totally honest, my boys last year, they were mostly sophomores last year. They didn't understand it. Like they still had the mentality, I want to hear my name. I want to run out and get my little shine. But it's not about that. So if you're really paying attention, like we sit there and we lock arms, and we're gonna come out of here together. We're gonna run out together, because it's about us. Yeah, you can hear your name being announced, but it's about us. The only time that we could not do it, and I actually got fined for it, which is crazy, was the state tournament.